Today we are back yet again looking at more entitled people. POV, rethinking my entire existence because the nanny just quoted me $4,098 to watch my kids for 3 days while my husband and I are out of town. Okay, so whenever I first seen that, I was thinking, wow, $4,000 is a lot of money for 3 days. What is that, like $950 a day? However, as per usual, a tiny bit of context is missing. Let's do the maths here. Based on original poster's videos, the kids are being watched for 3 days while original poster's out of town. This would be a 24-hour job unless you expect her to not take care of your children during her lunch and sleep. 3 times 24 equals 72 hours. Original poster was quoted $4,098 for the 72 hours of work. This is $56.92 an hour. Original poster is a mum of 5. That is the missing detail that she left out. You know, she didn't actually say that in the original video. She was making it out like she literally had 1 child. Original poster wants to pay a person watching her kids for 3 full days less than $12 an hour per kid. If you can't afford childcare, then maybe you shouldn't have 5 kids and you definitely shouldn't go on an out-of-town vacation. Yeah, so it looks like the only entitled person is her. I find it very interesting how she left that context out. Like, I've noticed with a lot of people on social media, whenever it comes to complaining, they always leave crucial details out. Yet again, if we look at that original post, POV, rethinking my entire existence because the nanny just quoted me $4,098 to watch my kids for 3 days while my husband and I are out of town. And then she put in the caption $93 an hour. That is what it's like for like 1 child. You have 5 children. And yet again, you also have to keep in mind she's sleeping over in their house. She's probably gonna have to take the kids out on activities. You literally want the kids to sit inside all day. I think the only person who needs to think their entire existence is you, because quite clearly you're a liar and entitled. I saw that and she doesn't mention in the video that it's 5 kids, so I'm like kinda high for 1 kid, but I don't know much about it. Let me check the comments and I saw she had 5 kids. Like, no crap, it's that much. Exactly, and you're wanting her to babysit them for 3 days. A 24-hour job. Yet again, you'll notice with a lot of these people is that they expect very, very good service for a low price, and that's just not the reality. You must all pay me, particularly if you're white. Hello, welcome to my account. I don't like people here to watch me silently. Here are different levels of support I need. Please tell me which one you can and are willing to provide. From that first post, I'm gonna guess that this is a person who wants lots of money and to live a lavish lifestyle without actually doing any of the work. And yet again, that just isn't reality. Step 2, value me. Pay me, appreciate me. If you can't pay me and you're white, I'd like you to really rethink that. Really think about your privilege in relation to mine and what is equatable. It's not a donation, it is compensation. I have tarot cards of my poetry linked in my bio. I also have a Patreon where you can contribute monthly. So we are our second post in, and yeah, it is not going good. We've only started and it's already going downhill. Everyone else, can you share my posts to people who can pay? Send me opportunities of platforms that will pay me. Send me that paid writing contest. Send me that online event where I can sell my tarot cards. Send me the contact info of that BIPOC publisher. I expect this of everyone, not just those in my community with me in my private account. So basically, you want people to work for you for free. Look, I can understand you might want help with something. That's fine. However, first of all, you've demanded money out of people, especially if they're white. And now, judging by this post, you're wanting people to send info to you for free. A lot of this is not adding up. Step 3, become my offline community. I need a community. I don't have a community. I'm tired of being treated like I'm not a priority and people do not have any energy nor time for me. This may just be social media to you, but it's a privilege I can't afford, literally. Social media is currently the only community I have and the only way I can find paid opportunities. So it is very serious for me and I need you to take how you engage with me seriously too. So if you're willing to become an offline community, reach out to me. We're now onto the 3rd slide and as a surprise, it's getting worse. I also love how she says, I need a community, I don't have a community. Who would want to be in your community? Like, we're literally 3 posts in and I already hate you. I need to be paid for my work. The best way to do that is consistently. I write consistently, I need consistent support. You can do that on, and then I'm gonna blur her little links. Did you honestly think I was gonna give her free promo? I'm trying to get $300 to $500 more monthly ASAP for living expenses and housing insecurity. I'm not quite ready to talk about what the housing insecurity is yet, but I got some bad news a few days ago. I need to be prepared to move. Okay, so I can understand maybe wanting a bit of support online, hence why she's doing what she's doing. However, she's just going about it in the wrong way. You come across as so demanding and entitled, like who would ever want to give you money or support you? If you want to tip me one time, you can do that on the Cash App or Venmo me, but I prefer a smaller monthly commitment over a bigger one-time amount for my housing security and stability. Yeah, so basically this girl is just demanding people to send her money because she doesn't want to get an actual job. Yet again, I'm not entirely sure what she's doing. However, I think what you need to do is actually get a job. You can do social media all you want, just part-time. However, you can also not go about your life demanding people to give you money and basically pay for your lifestyle. Like, that's not how it works. I don't like the implication for people of color either. If you're not white, you wouldn't be able to afford, so you better be sharing my stuff to white people and sending me opportunities instead. Girl, who even are you? I actually feel bad for people of color because people like her make them look crazy. Racist people use her as an example to, you know, spread their racism. them. I do always see a lot of posts like that, especially from like the LGBT community. Homophobic people find one crazy gay person and use them as a way to paint a picture about the whole community. And I feel like racist people would do that with her. I'm tired of being treated like I'm not a priority. Think you're gonna have to learn to live with that. Exactly, like you can't really go about your life living like that. I mean, you probably can, but you won't get far. And yet again, whenever it comes to supporting somebody, like you don't have to financially support them to support them. You can share their stuff. But on the flip side, who would want to support you? Like, I'm so sorry, after reading them posts, I quite frankly would block and report you. I can't imagine why she doesn't have a community. Why aren't you all lining up to be her friend and support her financially? She seems really delightful and eager to have a mutually beneficial and enriching friendship where she will contribute tarot reading for payment and a lot of whining about how you will never pick up on the check or pay her bills. I feel like she is just the type of friend that will drain you. I feel like we've all had that friend where it's like you literally hang out with them and you want to go to sleep straight afterwards. Put it this way, if you know someone in your life and they drain the life out of you, they literally are like a plug and they drain all your energy. Drop them. It's the best thing you could ever do. Repost with context, neighbours left this at our house. We have a family member that has pancreatic cancer. We told them multiple times we couldn't have our cars too far due to the doctor's appointment / urgent incidents. They didn't seem to really care and guilt tripped us with bringing a young child. We're sorry to inform you that one house that you refused to sign to close off your section of blank for May 26th block party. Although the vast majority of the block seemed quite happy with the idea, needed 100% of signatures to close the block, whether participating or not. Please feel free to party on your own lawns or come join us between Lee and Ree. We would love to see you. Okay, so I'm gonna guess the neighbour sent that to the person, and yeah, they don't seem very happy. I'm gonna guess that that is American. Like, what is a block party? Is that basically where everyone in the street has like a big party? I mean, that seems like lots of fun. However, you do have to keep in mind if someone has like a sick relative, they probably do need to get to them somehow. A lot of the comments in this Reddit post were very mixed. You know, half of the people were with them, but a lot of people are also against them. Basically saying that because they have a sick relative doesn't mean that the world revolves around them. I mean, if there is a neighborhood Facebook group, I'd put them in blast saying what you told us. I mean, yeah, that is a possibility. You know, if you want to name and shame them, you can. However, yet again, I don't really know how to feel about this because like I'm not American. I also don't have all the context. Like I don't know what a block party is. I'm gonna guess that's like a street where like they just have a big party and like block it off. But then on the flip side, if they've got a sick relative, I can understand why they might not want that to go ahead. Maybe in the future they could have a conversation with the person hosting a party, basically saying, look, I've got a very sick relative, we need to be able to get to them. Would you be able to make a few changes just in case like something bad happens to our loved one? I'm sorry, Richard Poster, your neighbor is an a-hole. And there are a lot of people in here who've never taken care of a really ill loved one. Yeah, so a lot of other people are basically saying to Richard Poster what's entitled and that the world doesn't revolve around them. However, you do have to keep in mind if you've got a sick relative and someone's having a block party, I can understand why you wouldn't want that to go ahead. I feel like this is a situation where no one's really an a-hole. It's just like an awkward situation. Like no one's in the right, but also nobody's in the wrong. Entitled woman wants her fiance to get rid of his 5-year-old daughter. Don't tell me this is a case of evil stepmother syndrome. I want my fiance to get rid of his 5-year-old daughter. Hello, relationship rules. Please keep me anonymous. I need some advice from your followers. My 32-year-old fiance has a 5-year-old daughter. Her mother passed away when she was giving birth to her. He's been raising her ever since he lost his wife, with the help of his family, of course. I am now in the picture and we're gonna get married in 2023. I'm 6 months pregnant with his son. I'm not the stepmother type, so I know I won't treat his daughter the same way I will treat our son. Okay, well that right there is an issue. Whenever it comes to marrying somebody, if they have children, they are now your children. You are the stepmother. I just feel bad for the daughter, quite frankly, because this is a 5-year-old daughter and she's gonna have a stepmother like her. To be quite honest, she annoys me. She looks exactly like her mother, so she constantly reminds my fiance of his dead wife, and she is very attracted to her daddy, which makes me afraid that my son will not be able to bond with his father because of her. I'm so sorry, are we reading the same thing? Like, is this actually real? Please tell me this is a case of rage bait. Basically, I want to tell my fiance to get rid of her. She can live with her grandparents, or we can find a nice couple that wants to adopt a child. I don't know how to approach the situation, but I need to find a way to convince my fiance to get rid of her. I'm not a bad person, I'm just trying to look out for my son and make sure he will get all his father's attention that he deserves. I think the only person who needs help is you, darling. That actually reminds me of a situation that some fathers find themselves in. There's been stories I've read online where mothers have had a son and the dad gets jealous of the attention the son gets from the mother. Like, isn't that insane? Imagine having a son and you're jealous of the mother giving the son more attention than you. To me, that seems like that same situation just flipped the other way round. The mother is jealous that the daughter gets attention from the father that she and the son won't get. Like, she is suffering from a major case of the crazies. If this is real, that man needs to run now. His child deserves better. I'm also gonna get the vibes that she's gonna be one of them mothers that is literally in love with the son. That just seems like a recipe for disaster. Unfortunately, yes, this is real. There's such thing as evil stepmother syndrome. She needs to be in the family therapy with the daughter and husband to be. Nah, I'm so sorry. She doesn't need therapy. She needs to get out of the picture immediately. I don't know what they need to do, but the father needs to adopt the child and get rid of her. Because there's one issue in that whole situation, and it is her. Former colleague almost kills family member because allergies aren't real. real. In an office I used to work in, I had a colleague who didn't believe that food allergies were real. Okay, so we're one sentence in and I'm already a little bit concerned. How can you not believe in food allergies? As far as she was concerned, allergies were just excuses made up by fussy eaters. Let's call this woman Sally. Are you sure she's called Sally? We should actually call her Karen. No matter what anyone said or what evidence was presented, she refused to believe that allergies of any kind were real. And she liked to prove this by purposely slipping allergens into people's foods without their knowledge. I'm so sorry, she's literally just committed a crime. Like, I'm pretty sure if you know someone is allergic to something and then you like forcibly give it to them, well, not actually forcibly, you trick them into eating it, that is literally a crime. Sally was proud of how many people she had caught out by doing this. Nobody liked her, nobody would take any food or drink she made or touched, even those of us without allergies, which she hated. She couldn't understand why nobody trusted her. She once tried to get the entire team in trouble with HR for not eating food she had baked, but that's another story for another day. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame people for not eating or drinking anything she gives to you. If she's putting allergens into people's food who have allergies, she's probably gonna put bloody cocaine in your food. Could you imagine, Alex? She's probably gonna drug you and rob you. One day, Sally stormed into the office furious. It turned out that over the weekend at a family barbecue, she had tried to catch out her sister-in-law by slipping peanuts into her food. Her sister-in-law was very allergic to peanuts. After eating the food Sally had poisoned, her sister-in-law went into severe anaphylaxis and had to be rushed to hospital. Okay, so by the sounds of it, Sally is hopefully going to be going to jail for a long time. And yet again, that's the issue. Like, she's been doing this in her work and now she's done it to a family member who's nearly died and is in hospital. She ranted and raved about the injustice of it all. She could not seem to understand why her family, her brother especially, were so angry with her. She refused to acknowledge she'd done anything wrong. In fact, as far as she was concerned, she was the real victim. Surprise, surprise, people like her will always make themselves a victim. Every single word we read in this post is making her sound more and more like a Karen. But not just a normal Karen, a murderous Karen. Sally tried to say that her sister-in-law was just trying to make her look bad and turn her family against her. So she went into life-threatening anaphylaxis to make her look bad, I guess, as you do. Yeah, as you totally do. You know, funny enough, if you give peanuts to someone who's allergic to nuts, they are gonna die, or at the least get close to it. She then insisted that no, her anaphylaxis must have been caused by something else. Food poisoning perhaps, or something she had done earlier that day. It had nothing to do with her slipping a known allergen into her food, because remember, allergies aren't real. The scariest part was that at no point did Sally express any remorse or even concern for her sister-in-law's well-being. Not even when she mentioned her sister-in-law had almost died. This is literally a story about a psychopath. Like, I'm so sorry, this Sally Karen woman's gonna murder someone. And she's also incriminating herself by telling everyone about this. The next day she didn't come into work, or the next. A rumor spread through the office Sally had been arrested. I didn't know if that was true or not. Nothing was ever confirmed. Management was super tight-lipped about anything to do with her, and as you can imagine, Sally did not have many friends in the office, and none of us were acquainted with her family. So none of us had the means to confirm anything. This was in the days before social media, so we had no way of finding anything out. I feel like back then you would probably look in a newspaper. So like, if you still don't know the answers, maybe look for newspapers of that day. Or you could probably just like search her name into like a jail website and see if she actually got arrested. Look at her mugshot and everything. A meeting was later called where a manager told us that Sally would not be coming to work anytime soon, and if anyone called asking about her, we were to forward them immediately to whichever manager was on duty, and to say nothing about Sally. Bob, one of my other co-workers, would look for a news story about her when he went to get his morning paper, but never saw anything. Sally never came back to work. I have no idea what happened to her, but she wasn't exactly missed. I hope her sister-in-law is okay. I tried to look Sally up on social media years later, but she has a super common first and last name like Sally Brown, so lots of profiles came up, although none of them look like her. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that either Sally is dead or Sally is in jail, and hopefully she got put in jail for a long time. This is totally a go to jail situation for assault or manslaughter. That's what I'm thinking. Like, put it this way, if your sister-in-law had an anaphylactic reaction to nuts that you put in her food secretly, that literally is like attempted murder. This is why my co-workers and I suspect she went to jail. I can't be 100% certain, but I sure hope she did. It's either she's went to jail or she's had a falling out with her family and moved to another country. I also feel like there's no point looking her up on social media, because if she doesn't believe allergies are real, she's probably one of them people who doesn't have any social media. Or if she does, she's in social media with a fake identity, literally retweeting conspiracy theories. This is a regular topic over in boomers being fools. My family also decided my allergies aren't real, despite there being visible and obvious fallout every time they've poisoned me. They're persistent, so all I can do is avoid them. It's starting to seem homicidal, but for my sanity, I try to believe it's just supreme narcissism. Honestly, at that point, you shouldn't ignore it. You should just take them straight to the police. If people know you have an allergy and they purposely trick you into eating food, or literally drug your food with that allergy, that is like attempted murder. I love eating nuts, like they're one of my favorite things. However, if I'm ever out with people, I always ask them, you know, has anyone got any allergies? Most of the time the answer is no, but there is times where people are like, yeah, I'm allergic to this or that. And you know, if I have any of that on me, I make sure to keep it in my lunchbox. I feel like if Sally was in my position, she'd put the nuts under their nose or something. Hi, my name is Blank. I'm a young independent photographer slash Instagram baddie looking to move into a cozy place long term with a couple of housemates. My job is between busy patches, so I naturally wouldn't be able to pay rent, but I more than make up for this with doing the dishes, cleaning the house, and providing everyone with a fun, cool vibe. Oh my god, that's so amazing. Like, I just think that's fantastic. You know, you're an Instagram baddie and you want to live somewhere nice and cozy, and you know, you can cook, clean, and provide entertainment, but you also can't pay rent. A couple of rules. Must be all female housemates, sorry guys. Vegans only, no murderers. Preferably music friendly. I'm a master of the drums and kalimba. No noise after 10 p.m. My current landlord has given me 2 weeks notice, so looking to move out soon. Hit me up if you're interested. I'm sorry, but that sounds like my view of hell. The only person I've ever lived with is my parents. If I were to live with somebody, it would be my best friend, and I could assure you I would never have a best friend anything like you. Wonder why she's getting kicked out of her current place? Not really, we all know. Exactly, you know, it's got nothing to do with the fact that she doesn't have a job, she also doesn't have an income, she also can't pay rent, and she has crazy rules. It's not like it's got anything to do with that. Well, anyways guys, that's where I leave that video there. That's some entitled people. If you want to see me look at some more crazy entitled people, let me know, definitely will. Press the big subscribe button, see you all tomorrow for another video.